What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the SooSooToys ABBA Assassin figure. Holy beep! Am I excited for this review, y'all? Oh my gosh, I've been waiting almost a year for this figure, man. It feels like an eternity. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's been a long time coming for this figure right here. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you may have seen my announcement video that I did on the 4 SooSooToys Rangers that were being released, or going up for pre-order rather. I think I dropped that video back in like February or March of this year. So yeah, it's been a long time waiting for this guy, man. This is my first pre-order ever. 1/6 scale figure, man. So super duper excited, right? So the ABBA Assassin, aka Dino Thunder White, aka ABBA Killer, from the Super Sentai ABBA Ranger, man. Holy I want to curse so bad, man. I am just so flipping excited for this freaking review. Like I said, man, been waiting forever. I pre-ordered this guy back in like December of last year, literally 2 days after Christmas last year. Is when I saw the Instagram post by Belgian Red Ranger. It was actually, I think, on my Explore page, and I saw it was like promotional artwork or whatever, and I thought, it was just like some artwork that somebody had done for like, special Rangers, like special, like as in like 6th or 5th Rangers, because it, it had this guy, Dino Thunder Black, Zeo Gold, and the Green Samurai Ranger from Ninja Storm. And so, naturally I clicked on it. I thought it was either that, or I thought maybe it was like a promotion thing for, like an event or like a con that was coming with like the actors that play those Rangers. So, I clicked on it, and then I read the caption, and it said that these were, figures that were coming out, highly detailed superposable figures that were coming out. They were up for pre-order, and they were being done by SooSooToys, who at the time I had never heard of. I still don't know if they're SooSoo or SooSoo, but everybody I've heard has called them SooSoo, and I think SooSoo has a better ring to it, so I'm going to be calling them SooSoo from here on out. But yeah, I had never heard of them, and so I can't remember if I did research on them to see if they were legit or not, but I know that the caption said that they were being sold through 16outfitters.com, which is where I got mine. And then I think I did research maybe them, or I at least checked out the website just to see if it seemed like a legit site. And yes, it seems very professional, and I actually know people that use them, and they've given like good reviews for 1/6. They're based out of New York, so but yeah, all that to say, 1/6, they carry like a lot of different lines and different 1/6 scale collectible figures, like Hot Toys and all different types of lines, lines I hadn't even heard of. They have they carry a lot of their figures. So yeah, seems like a very trustworthy credible site. So I can recommend them. Although I will say that TNS Figures is probably a better site if you want to get these Rangers faster, and I learned that from that Metromania on YouTube. Shout outs to my boy. We've been chatting quite a bit about these Rangers, because we've both been super excited, and he got his about a month ago. So he told me that TNS Figures is kind of like one of the better sites to get these from, because they tend to ship it out quicker. I forget where TNS is based out of, but they tend to, I guess, ship their stuff out faster than 1/6 outfitters. So just something to note. But all that aside, man, here we go, man. Here's the box. The box looks great. I love the design. It's simple but effective. I was thinking that when the box came out, they were gonna have like all this extravagant artwork, showing off like the promo photos and all that. But this is fine. This actually looks really good. It's simplistic, but it's effective, right? So we got the white background. We've got the red visor on the front of the White Ranger, looking awesome, and it's in a nice dark blood red. I mean, it looks good, I think maybe like a slightly brighter red might have been better, or probably like would have stood out a little bit more. But either way, it looks really clean. And I know that in the promotional photos they did show the visor being a pretty dark red, so that seems to be reflected on the box. But then down here we have ABBA Assassin, and then the Dino Thunder logo in the background, which I think is a nice touch. And this is the SST 063C in the line. So I think those 4 Rangers, it was A, B, C, and D. So he was C out of those 4. And then yeah, collectible figure. Up top we have the SooSooToys logo, which looks really clean and very official. And then in the opposite corner we have SooSoo exclusive. So this was apparently a limited edition figure, so it was apparently limited to 400 pieces worldwide. I don't think that's necessarily true, because I saw a lot of different sites carrying it, so I don't see how they could have distributed only 400 across so many different sites. So yeah, and even me and Metromania were talking about that, and what he said is they probably just use that as like a marketing thing to get people to buy quicker, which I think, you know, makes a lot of sense. Just to get people to buy faster, they kind of called it like a limited edition, but I'm pretty sure well over 400 of this guy were made, so just something to point out. Side of the box, we got the black stripes, you know, to represent his costume, the black and white. I really like that, the contrasting spike pattern going on the side. And then on the back we have this right here, which is basically just kind of like a warning. I'm not going to read, you know, all through it, but if you want to pause it, I'll bring it in a little closer if you want to pause and read all of that. It basically just says that this product is not suitable for kids, you know, 3 years and under. It's suitable for ages 15 and up, because there's a lot of like small parts and things like, you know, potential choking hazards, stuff like that, that you wouldn't want a little kid around. And yeah, it just kind of tells you like some things to keep away from the product so that you don't damage it. So you definitely don't want it in extreme like heat or anything like that, because it could deform, you know, the figure. You don't want to put alcohol, benzene, or any type of like thinners and things, because it could mess up the fabric. Because, you know, keep in mind this is like a fabric, you know, material that they're using for the suit, so you definitely don't want to damage it. And another thing that they didn't mention, but you know, I just want to throw out there, is make sure you have clean hands when you're dealing with this figure, right? Especially this guy, this being the White Ranger, you definitely don't want to stain the fabric, you know, with dirty hands. So make sure your hands are nice and clean before you handle this guy. But yeah, and just like, you know, some other stuff, basically saying that they're not responsible for any like damage to the figure that was caused by like excessive force, because they warn you not to do that. So if you do it and you try to get like a replacement, they're not gonna, you know, replace you. Any damage done to the box isn't really you know, they're not entitled to replace the entire figure for you. I mean, the box is just meant to protect the figure inside. So you can see mine has like a little bit of a crease here going you know, in this corner, but not too bad. It still looks really good. But we don't care too much about the box. We are here for the figure. So boom, at the bottom, Abba Assassin again, same thing, 1/6 scale collectible figure. Same thing at the top, but upside down. So, but yeah, all that aside, let's go ahead and get this thing open. And I like that there isn't a lot of tape on this box, so it should be relatively easy to open. It's like mostly a slip, kind of like a slip style box. So let's see, it's got the corners. Trying to see what corner would be easiest to open it up from. Oh, already slightly messed up the box. Let's see. What's the best way to do this? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it is like a slip cover, so I'm gonna just basically lay it down flat and then slide this off. Boom. So that looks nice. All right, and then this looks really nice. So it's a good thing that I shoot my videos in vertical style, because just imagine trying to shoot this, you know, wide, like landscape, because it's such a tall figure. But we get this really, really nice. I'm gonna just move the camera real quick just to show you guys. Look at that slip cover. Boom, right on top. I love that. So I'm gonna show you, put this down here. Okay, so I'm gonna just move the slip cover off real quick. This is so cool, man. This, I think, would be like a great like background if you wanted to use that. Like, this is like a really cool thing you could use as a background if you wanted to like maybe display the figure in front of. I think this is so cool. I love like the negative picture style of it. So it's all blacked out, and then you can see like the red visors all glowing, looking menacing in the dark right there, and it's got the Dino Thunder logo. But yeah, this is like one of their original you know, promo photos that they had, minus, you know, the insignia and all that. I don't think they had like all the fire down here either, but this is really, really awesome. I love how that looks. So boom. So you got that. Putting that aside. Hoo-wee! Look at that boy in his packaging. So I'm gonna just bring the camera up one more time. So there you can see him resting in the package with all his accessories. Boom. All right, bringing the camera back. Oh my goodness, man. I am too freaking hyped for this. Got some pull, slide out the tray here. Oh my goodness. The box has like a nice smell to it too. I don't know what that's about, but you know, it's kind of cool. Nice smelling box. Nice scent to it for some reason. So we got a little bit of tape here on the sides. Very easily just remove that. Alright. So we can slide the cover up. Is there any more tape anywhere? No? Alright. Alright, there goes the top cover coming right off. Put that down. Alright, so we'll move this to the side. I'll talk about that in just a sec. What that was. Holy crap, man. Look at this. Sheesh. Oh my gosh. I'm taking the plastic off right now. You guys can't even see it. Hold up. Let me let's zoom, get a little zoom out. Gotta back the camera up a little more. Oh my goodness, this thing is gorgeous, bro. Look at it. Oh man, so I'm just taking the plastic off, excess plastic. Try to slide that off. Boom, there's one arm. See about this arm right here. Seems like it's a little bit tighter on this one. I want to be careful. There you go. Come on off of there, plastic. Come on off of there, you. This one is a lot tighter than the other arm. Oh, there we go. All right. Let me get the rest of the plastic off of his feet or his legs. Let's slip off nicely. Boom. Oh my goodness, this guy looks fantastic. Holy smokes, man. Oh, awesome. So boom, here we have it, man. Our 1/6 scale Aba Assassin figure, or Dino Thunder White, and he looks incredible. Holy crap, man. I am just losing my stuff right now. I am like so beyond excited. I'm gonna move his belt down just a little bit. Boom. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm geeking out, man. I am geeking out. Woo! So this is awesome. So one of the first things I want to point out about him, let me see. It's gonna be hard getting him in the shot. Let's see him bring. Okay, here we go. Just because he's so tall, man. But boom, there you have it, man. So one of the first things I want to get right out of the way is you'll notice the white of his suit. I'm gonna bring him in closer. You'll notice that the white of his suit has kind of like a silvery shimmer to it, like it almost looks like a pearlescent white. And you can notice how it's like a little bit different from like say his armor or like the gloves and like the boots, which are like in a more solid stark white. And that's actually, believe it or not, accurate to the source material. And when I say the source material, I'm talking about the Sentai, which is the Japanese version of Power Rangers, which came first, by the way, in case you didn't know. So all of the Power Ranger series are based off of the Japanese Sentai. So Aba Ranger, which is, you know, the Japanese version of Dino Thunder. One thing I've noticed, and it seems like it's kind of consistent through, I think, all of the Sentai series, even though I haven't seen them all, but I have seen the Aba Ranger Sentai. I actually got it on DVD, watched the entire season. Amazing. Loved it. A lot more brutal than Dino Thunder for sure, but awesome. Especially this guy in particular, right? But yeah, one thing that I've noticed, and I even was like talking to people on Reddit. I recently got a Reddit. Recommend you guys get a Reddit. And you know, there's like a whole Reddit page, Reddit forum talking about you know, like Ranger stuff and these SooSooToys that were coming out. And somebody had mentioned that in the Sentai, like for example, the White Ranger from MMPR, like in the Sentai version, the suit is like, I guess more has like more of a shimmer to it. It's like there's like a different type of like shine and sheen to it, and it's not quite as like bright. And I commented back to them. I replied to them. I was like, you know what? I've noticed the same thing with the Dino Thunder, because I noticed that in Dino Thunder, Trent's suit tends to look like more of a stark white, like closer to like the rest of his armor, compared to like in the Sentai, which looks more like this, has like a little bit more of the silvery sheen. And keep in mind that a lot of the Sentai shots get reused for Power Rangers. So like for Dino Thunder, there's a lot of shots where it's actually, you know, Mikoto or Outright Killer, and they're just reusing shots for the American series. And a lot of those reused shots, you'll be able to see that this is actually accurate, like this kind of silvery shimmer. I remember somebody on Instagram had commented that, like in the promo photos for this figure, that he looked, you know, the overall suit looks silver, and they were like, "Am I tripping, or does the suit look silver?" And then I actually replied back to them, and I told them that that was actually accurate to the Sentai, and it's not silver. Like, it definitely looks white. It's just that it's more of like it's got like a sheen to it. There's like shadows and like, you know, like a silvery kind of, it's like a pearlescent white basically. There's like a reflection of like, you know, shadowy sheens going throughout the white, which I think is really nice, and it gives the suit, you know, a better overall look in my opinion. So yeah, that is in fact accurate. And just to show you guys, I'm gonna move him aside for just a second. Oh my gosh, dude, he's awesome. Ooh, I'm pretty excited. Okay, but just to show you guys what I'm talking about, one of the first episodes, well, not first episodes, but like one of the first episodes where the White Ranger shows up, that is, they reused in Dino Thunder, they reused a lot of the shots from the Sentai. So one of the episodes where he's trying to like hatch the Dragozord, White Thunder Part 2, is where he's trying to like hatch the Dragozord, and he Connor and Kira go after him, and they're, you know, trying to obviously stop him. And obviously he kicks their butts. He's doing that little like the speed dash thing, messing them up. But anyways, this is like a shot right here where you can clearly see that, you know, because they're in a dimly lit warehouse, right? So the color of his suit, definitely, like you can see it right here, has more of that like silvery type of sheen to it. And I was thinking before that's just because like they were in a dimly lit area, you know, because there wasn't as much like light on the suit. But you know, you can even see it right here, like there's contrast like between the armor, because if that was the case, then the armor would probably look darker too. But you know, the armor still looks like a nice bright solid white, whereas the suit still has like more of a silvery type of sheen to it. So, you know, that's just something to know. So that's, you know, and keep in mind, this is like a reused Sentai shot. So this is all from the Sentai. So that's based on the original, you know, material that was shown. And then another good shot that kind of shows that, this is that same scene, but like at the end where Connor and Kira run off to go save the city. And he's like kind of like, you know, mocking them as they leave. You can see it right there. I'm gonna zoom in. You can definitely see it in that shot, that his suit has like a lot of like a silvery type of look to it. You know, it's kind of like reflective, and it gives a nice contrast between the black and like the rest of his armor. So that's just something I wanted to point out and get, you know, out of the way right away. Another like episode where you can really see that good is it's called a Ranger Exclusive, and it's towards the end with it has both Trent and the evil clone White Ranger. And you'll notice that in a lot of the shots where they battle at the end, pretty much every shot that the clone White Ranger is in, like while he's fighting Connor, you can see like that silvery type of sheen going throughout his suit, because those shots are directly reused from the Sentai. Whereas like when you see Trent, when he's fighting with Elsa, like inside the building, his suit looks more white, like it's more of like a stark white. And that's something like that's like a episode where you can clearly see like the differences between like maybe the Dino Thunder material that they use in America compared to the Sentai. So that just goes to show that, you know, Power Rangers and Sentai suits are probably not exactly the same as far as like material goes. And it seems like in America we they tend to make the suits more of like a solid color with not so much like reflectivity as compared to the Sentai. So I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys. But yeah, I really like that they stayed true to the Sentai when it came to this figure, because it looks amazing. Like the details, man, are insane. And I really do like that, that shimmery, you know, thing that we got going on here for the suit. So yeah, I'm gonna put him aside again one more time. We're not gonna do a clean figurine scale like in this review, just to save a little bit of time, because this is gonna be a long review. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. But I will put a score. I am gonna like break down the score for like each part in the clean figurine scale. I'm gonna put that in the description in case you're curious, like what I think, what I rate, you know, all of his aspects and whatnot. So let's take a look at the accessories, man, because I am super excited to look at those. So we've got both Drago swords, both versions of the Drago sword here. And then we've got all of his alternate hands. So I'll start with the Drago swords. Boom. Look at that. Incredible. Look at the paint detail. This literally looks like a miniaturized replica of what was in the show, man. Excellent, excellent paint and detail. One of the first things I want to point out is that SooSoo actually fixed like a design flaw that they had with these Drago swords from the original promo art to the release. They actually fixed it. So in the original promo art, I'm going to show you a quick shot right here. Let's see. Where did I? Okay, yeah, here we go. So I don't know if you guys will recall, but in the original promo shots that they released for this guy, they had made like two small mistakes, but they were like mistakes that I noticed, obviously, because this is like my favorite suit and I'm hyper attentive to pretty much everything about it. So you'll see right here in this shot where he's kind of like holding the Drago sword like a pin. Let's see, move the camera over just a bit here. Okay, I'll get some zoom in on this section of the Drago sword. You can see right here, I call this basically like the crest of the sword, because it's, you know, it's where the blade or the feather starts. They had made this section white, and it's supposed to be gold. To be show accurate, this part should be gold. And so that was like the first flaw that I noticed. Or actually, no, that's the second flaw I noticed. The first flaw that I noticed was that you'll see in these shots where you can see the Drago sword kind of resting like in his holster. You can see it right there, boom. You see right here on the handle of the Drago sword, you'll see that the black stripes are like in the front here. Like, so the Drago head is basically facing up and the fin is facing that way, right? And then they put the black stripes like in the front, whereas in the show, they're supposed to be on the opposite side of the handle. So they should actually be on the other side. And then this section right here should be like basically all white with just like a little bit of the black kind of coming around. Well, I actually messaged SooSoo about that, believe it or not, because I found their Instagram fan page, and then they also have like a Facebook page that has their email so that you can reach out to them. I think it's like SooSooToys@hotmail.com or something like that, right? But you can basically message them and kind of like make suggestions about their product. And so I reached out to them just asking them, you know, if I could, you know, politely make a suggestion about the figure before it came out. Didn't even know they replied to me the same day. One word, they just said yes. But I didn't even know until like months later that they replied to me. So, you know, I was like, oh crap. I was like, all right, well, you know, worth a shot. Let me just mention it to them. And so I actually only mentioned, you know, this part not being, this part, you know, needing to be gold instead of white. And that was all I mentioned. I was like, honestly, if they don't fix, you know, this part with like the black, you know, going up the handle and whatnot, I was like, honestly, I don't really care. Like, that's, to me, that's not a big deal, because honestly, I think it looks good on either side, you know, like if this was like in front, it wouldn't be a big deal to me, because I think it looks good like on either side, to be honest. But this part not being gold and you know, being white did kind of bother me, I'll be honest. So, you know, I let them know about that. I was talking to some people on Reddit, and they said that somebody else also mentioned that. And so looks like SooSoo actually fixed it for the final release, which is awesome. So that just goes to show, man, either they do really great research or they listen to their customer feedback, because I'm like, screw it, dude. I'm gonna kind of take credit for that. I don't know if they fixed it because of my message or not, because they didn't really reply to me after that. But I'm gonna, you know, low-key take credit for them fixing that mistake, because I did notice it and I pointed it out to them, and they have fixed it for the final release. But just bringing in the Drago sword a little closer to get a better look at the details. Holy crap, man, look at that. I love the choice of gold that they went with. It's a nice, like, shiny gold, but it's not too bright. It's not super yellow in appearance. It's got more of like a brown, bronzy color to it, which I like, not like a super yellow gold. I do think that the line going down the middle is like a tad thick. I think they could have made that a little bit thinner to be more show accurate, because I was watching clips from the show, and it doesn't seem like the black line should be quite this thick. It definitely thins out as it gets closer to the tip of the sword, but yeah, I just think it's a tad thick on here. I would have made it a little bit thinner, but I mean, other than that, perfectly fine, man. Exceptional. I love the overall sculpt, very accurate to the show. The side dimensions, I think, look very good too. Like, I like how it's like nice and thin, like how it is in the show. It's not too wide from the side, and it looks really good, all around, both ways. And I really love the sculpt of the Drago head. You can see, the red paint in there for the eyes, which looks really good. Love that. I think the red might be like just a touch bright. I think maybe the red should have been like a little bit darker, but I mean, other than that, very, very good. This little line up here that goes like inside of the fin, that looks really good. And they even got this little part. I'm surprised they got that detail in there. This like very tiny black section that's going at like the nose of the Drago head right there. That's actually show accurate. Yeah, I don't know if it's like necessarily black lines. It might just be like sculpted that way, but it's definitely something you can notice in the show if you look, hard enough. And yeah, like all the little sculpting in there for the head, even like those internal like little line works in there, all of that is taken into account. So very, very nice detail. And you can see like, yeah, the black kind of wraps around to like the front right there, but most of the section should be white, and they got that correct. So that is awesome. So that is our pin mode, right, of the Drago sword. All right, so we have that. And then of course we get the extended version as well, which looks just as good, if not better. So boom, man, look at that. Oh, I love it. This is actually like the first time that we've gotten both versions of the Drago sword with him, and they've been fully painted, believe it or not. Because we did get both versions. Last time we got both versions of the Drago sword with this White Ranger was in the Bandai, Legacy line. And, it was with that Dino Action White Ranger that I reviewed like way back. And I ended up using his swords for my Lightning Collection White Ranger. But yeah, just to see that this is, like a show accurate, fully sculpted, Drago sword, no paint missing like Hasbro did, right? Hasbro gave us only like the extended version of his sword, and what's it called? The Bandai Legacy version that came out, they only give us the pin version. So it's nice to see that we finally get both, fully painted and show accurate. I mean, look at the silver for the blade. I love the length of the blade, the extended blade too. It's not too long or not too short. They could have like stopped it up here, but nah, they gave it a nice length for the dual blade. Very nice paint. Again, that white, gold, and black paintwork is very clean for the most part. And you can see the Drago head at the front there, looking just as nice as the other one. Yeah, that is awesome, man. One thing I've noticed about the Drago sword when watching Dino Thunder is that, I don't know if you guys have ever picked up on this. One thing I've noticed is that the shape of it, at least in the extended mode, seems to like change in different shots, which like, makes me think, did they have like multiple props maybe from the show? Because sometimes the Drago sword looks more like this, which is how it looked when it, originally debuted in the extended mode. You can see it's still got like that nice like curve and everything. It's like thin and long, and yeah, like you'll even notice like the handle section right here. They don't really like point this out in the show, but like the handle section for the like where he grabs it actually does extend too. It's not only the blade, but this part extends too, so that he's able to dual wield it. And so like, just so you can see what I'm talking about, you can see right here, here's the pin version, right? See how short it is, and then compare it to the handle on this one. See how much like bigger? It's almost like twice the size, and that's so that he can dual wield it if he wants to. He can grab it with two hands. So like, yeah, and they actually paid attention to that and made the handle longer, which is awesome. Great attention to detail. But yeah, it just seems like this extended Drago sword kind of like changes shape sometimes, like in appearance. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Here's a shot right here. Let me find that shot. Let's see, here we go. There's a shot right here where this is like where he Mesogog sends Elsa and Zeltrax to go capture the White Ranger when he's like still evil, right? When Trin is evil, and he kicks both of their butts, and then he puts the Drago sword like on his shoulder right here, and he's like, you know, taunting them or whatever. And you can see right here in this shot, like, it almost seems like the Drago head. I mean, this might be a reach, but it seems like the Drago head gets like a little bit smaller right here, or at least on this prop that they used. And then it also seems like the overall shape kind of changed. Like, it seems more boxy to me, like from the side, like it seems thicker, like the overall sword, like the feather part seems thicker, and like the shape seems more of like a, I guess, like triangular in appearance instead of like, you know, curved like it was, you know, before. So, and I noticed that actually happens like several times throughout Dino Thunder. Like you can see in like a lot of shots, even with the clone White Ranger, that it starts to look like more boxy, I guess, in nature from the side instead of like curved. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out. It makes me like think like, I wonder, did they use multiple props, maybe at least in Dino Thunder, when it came to that extended version of the Drago sword. But again, I love that they give us both, you know, versions of it so that we have options when it comes to posing him. And yeah, I just love the Drago sword. It's like one of my favorite Ranger weapons of all time, along with this costume. And I love that he like utilizes both, especially like when he's doing like those speed, like those hyper speed running attacks, and he slashes people. Sometimes he has it in the pin mode, and sometimes he has it in the extended mode with the blade out when he really wants to get the slicing and dicing. So that is awesome. So Drago swords aside, we have some alternate hands. So first pair of alternate hands that we get, we got some fist hands. Boom. Look at that. Very nicely sculpted fist hands. Very nice white paint. We've got the black diamonds, or, you know, triangles on the top, which are very good, kind of like in a nice matte finish. So those look really, really good. You can see the line work going through the gloves. Really nice sculpt on these. So we get 2 of those, 1 for each side, of course. Then we got some tiger, or, you know, some martial arts style pose, like grabby hands, right? So we got, again, really great paint work. Look at that inner line work for the glove. Very, very show accurate. And there's some shots where you can actually like see the inside of the glove up close. So all this like internal lining and stuff looks very accurate. I like the wrinkling. The fingers are all curled, looks dope. And then we get that same awesome black paint work for the diamond, and some lines going across like by the knuckles there. Very, very nice. So we get 2 of those for each side. Then we get the weapon holding hands. So these are basically just like the fist hands, but a little more, you know, open, obviously, so you can fit the Drago swords in there and get them all posed up. Again, very, very nice paint work all around. Looks very clean to me, so I like that. And keep in mind, this was a, this is like a hand painted figure, so it's not like something mass produced in a factory. So all this is like, even like his, down to his helmet sculpt, it's all hand painted and detailed by somebody. So that is some very, very nice work there. All right, you gotta really refine your skills to make this look good. All right, so and then we also get 2, let's see, are these both the same? Yeah. So we get 2 pin holding hands, which I like writing hands, I would say, because, you know, the Drago sword, he treats it like a pin so that he can draw like his laser arrows and you know, different things, his chain constructs. But yeah, this is really, really nice. And I like that they gave us one for both sides, not only like his right hand. So in case you wanted to make him like a lefty, I happen to be a lefty. Yeah, I write with my left, but my dominant hand is definitely probably like my right. Like my right is a lot stronger. I would throw a punch or like catch things first with my right, but I write with my left. So it's nice that we have that option in case you want to make him a lefty. They give it for both sides, this writing hand. So you can like look like he's pressing it like a pin. Very, very cool, man. Awesome, awesome stuff. It seems like on this one, this other hand of the same you know, nature, got like a little bit of a black spot right there. Not a big deal. I might be able to find a way to, you know, make that come off without messing up the paint, hopefully. Or maybe I can just paint over it with some white. So boom, so you got that. And that's all of his, you know, pretty much, yeah, all of his accessories. And then as far as, you know, other things that come with him, he gets this base. Now I know I've seen a lot of people complain about the bases for these Ranger figures, particularly like, you know, the Black Dino Thunder Ranger got released first, so his base is what people saw first, and a lot of people were complaining that the base was kind of lackluster or whatever, because I guess for like most of the SooSoo, toys bases that got released in the past for other characters, they're usually more extravagant and fancy, like with the figures and whatnot. But yeah, we just basically get like this kind of wooden base. I think you can take off. Yeah, it's like a plastic base or like ceramic because it's got some weight to it. I think you can actually peel off the this kind of like cardboard stuff on top, like on the top and the bottom, and then because it's I think it's supposed to be clear. I've seen it clear in videos, and they advertised it as clear in their first like promotional shots and whatnot. I've heard that this pole though, that like this crotch grabber stand or whatever, apparently it doesn't really fit into the hole that they made, so people have had to like Dremel out a little bit more, and I just tried to put it in right now. It doesn't seem like it wants to fit, so yeah, people have had to make this hole a little bit bigger to get it to fit, so that is a little unfortunate. But honestly, I'm not too worried about the base because he can stand up fine on his own, so I'm probably not even going to use this very much, if at all. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put that actually back into the case so I don't lose it. Put that back in there. And let's bring the White Ranger back in the shot. All right, man. So let's break this guy down. Let's get into some play and display articulation style. So I think there's only like maybe a couple reviews out there, like full reviews of this guy on YouTube so far. And I watched them, but I skipped over the articulation sections on purpose so that this could be more authentic for you guys. I did, however, see like the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, so I kind of know like what to expect because I saw like all of his articulation, so I have a little bit of an idea what to expect. But all of that being said, let's get into it, man. So starting with this awesome head sculpt, let's see, we can look down, so the neck moves down, very nice, very fluid. Look at that. He can tuck his chin in like right into like that top crest of his armor, so that's really nice. Let's see, looking up and back, boom. The neck moves really nice, and you can see like the fabric. I love that they didn't miss the detail of the gold going around his neck, because that is so accurate. I like that gold in there, and it moves with the head very fluidly, so we can actually look up really nice. Here's a side view of how far he's looking up, so that looks pretty good to me. Bringing it back forward and then looking to the side, we got boom to each side, very fluid, left to right. I think it can go 360. Let's see. Yep, gets a full 360 all the way around. Probably like a really big ball peg or something in there that's allowing him to do that. And then as far as like leaning, tilting to each side, boom. So we can give him some attitude. Got some nuance posing in there that looks really good. So side to side, he gets very nice, and the neck kind of like moves a little bit with it. So that's awesome. Coming to the arms, can raise the arms. Let's see, about that high, so pretty good, about a 90 degrees. So he's able to get a solid T-pose. Let me back up just a little bit, make sure we're in the shot. So we've got a solid T-pose for the arms. He can raise his shoulders all the way out. Let's see. Yep, that looks good. Coming back down to his sides. I like that he's able to bring his arms down naturally to his sides, so they're not sticking out awkwardly like a Hasbro figure. You're able to bring them nice and close to the body. And then let's see, he has some jointed elbows, which allow a really good bend. So you're able to get far better than a 90 for the elbows, which looks really good. It does look a little funny right there, like it gets like a little flat, but that's just because of the shape of the skeleton and then the fabric having to go around that. But still very solid, and the fact that he's able to get that much bend is really nice. Comes back down, and the fabric seems to doesn't get too wrinkled. It's able to stay like pretty flat there, so that's good, and like retain its original shape. And then let's see, as far as coming forward, I think he has like a butterfly joint or something similar to that, so he's able to move the arm forward and back pretty well. Very fluid front to back movement. You can see that, boom. He can get his arm going back that far before it hits the armor. And the armor is made out of like, it's a hard plastic, but it is kind of soft, so it does move a little bit. So that gives him like a little room to flex forward and back. But yeah, he's able to reach forward and back very nice. And then I don't think he'll be able to do a full windmill 360 just because the armor is going to get in the way. But he should be able to come forward pretty nice. Let's see. Definitely don't want to break anything, so I'm going to take my time moving that. Okay, there we go. I was able to get it to free up a little bit, so boom. He's able to, yeah, actually raise the arm pretty nicely there. Coming forward and straight out like that. That looks good. He's able to move it back. It looks really, really nice. And then coming to the hands, his hands are on a, I think like a ball or like kind of like a swivel joint. So he's able to get 360 rotation in the hands. And then as far as moving in and out, let's see. Not too much play for moving like in and out, but he is able to at least rotate them a full 360, which is nice. And then as far as like up and down, not a lot of play there either. But that's to be expected on a 6 scale figure. So, you know, articulation isn't going to be quite what it would be on like a 112 scale figure, but still really, really solid. And then for the torso, we'll start with leaning. So he's able to lean pretty nice to one side. So moving the other way. That's a pretty decent lean to each side. And you can see like obviously the fabric is gonna like scrunch up a little bit there at the waist when you do that, but you should be able to straighten it right back out and it still looks really, really good. And then let's see, as far as crunching forward. Oh yeah, so he's able to get a pretty decent crunch forward like that. Crunching back, like he's doing the limbo. Pretty good. And yeah, you can see obviously like the fabric is gonna scrunch up just a little bit around the waist. That's to be expected, but again, just straighten that back out. And yeah, and it should like basically go back to its original shape. So that's really good. And I will note that the black for the costume is like a slightly different material compared to the white, the fabric of the white. I think the black actually is like a pleather or something like that going down the sides. Which is an interesting choice. I wonder why they weren't able to make it like the same material as the rest of the white fabric, but I mean, either way, it still looks really, really good and it's so accurate. Here's a look at him from the back, by the way. So boom, there you have that. Coming to the leg articulation. See, he's able to raise and kick the leg up about that far, which should be just about, yeah, just shy maybe of a 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. And then coming backwards, he's able to kick about that far going backwards, about the same as like Marvel Legends or something of that nature. So that looks pretty good. Just be careful of the fabric as you're moving it so it doesn't get too scrunched up. Coming down to the knees, seems like he has double jointed knees that allow him to get about that much bend. So I think that's pretty good. Pretty solid. He can basically bring it to almost his lower back if you like really push. That looks excellent. Bringing that back down. Boom. The boots do have a swivel. Oh wow. Okay, so this is, I didn't know that. So the boot is actually a separate piece from the like the top part of the boot going down, like for the shin going into the actual shoe itself is separate. So it has rotation, so you can get some separate rotation in that top piece like that. And then for the actual boot itself, or the foot, you can move it side to side. It's got rotation, got a rocker in there. Look at that. You can swivel it and you can see even like some of that little fabric inside of the foot. Very good. Bringing that back to the front. And then he's got a nice ankle swivel and rocker. You just have to like kind of keep it aligned up with like the rest of the boot so it doesn't look too awkward, but yeah, that looks really nice. Very nice sculpt and paint for the boots as well. Look at that. And they even got like the black diamonds on the side, unlike that legacy figure. So solid. And I like that they also got the bottom of the boots black, because that is an important Power Rangers detail. All the Power Rangers should have black on the bottom of their boots. and outlining it. So that looks really good. Details on this thing are crazy, man. So let's see. Let's see about out to the side. How much he can kick. Ooh, okay, there we go. Heard a little bit of a click in there. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Boom. Look at that. So he can basically get a full splits. Look at that, nice 90-degree angle out to the side. So if he's able to do that with both legs, then he could do full splits. So that is really good range. He's able to do some nice high kicks. So that's excellent. And let's see, any other points? Let's see for the waist. Let's see if he's able to twist. Yep, he gets a little bit of twist in there. Obviously, you don't want to do too much. You don't want to wrinkle up this fabric too much, but he can twist a little bit side to side. So that looks really, really good. All right, so let me put the Drago sword in his holster. Pin version, I'm gonna put it in the holster. And boom. Now he's got his Drago sword at his side, looking awesome. So there you go. All right, what else did I want to mention? Let's see. Oh yeah, so they did include some ankle extenders for this guy and like the other 3 Rangers that came out, not the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. So when the Black Dino Thunder Ranger first came out, people were, I guess, complaining that height-wise he was too small to fit in with the 3-0 Rangers. And you know, SooSoo made like a statement or whatever responding to them and basically said that they were going to start including ankle extenders for the rest of the Rangers that were being released so that you can actually add them. I'm probably not going to use them, to be honest, because I like the height that he's at already. I don't want to make him any taller, and it's also going to make his legs look, you know, like kind of abnormally long. But it is an option, so in case you wanted to make them a little taller to fit with your, if you're like a 3-0 collector, this should help the height, you know, fix itself. But me personally, yeah, like I said, I don't really plan to use them. And like another thing is like when you do use them, at least for this guy, right? Like this part, like you see how the black kind of like goes like into the boot, just like, you know, that's how it's designed. That's how the suit is supposed to look. Once you use the ankle extenders, it's gonna kind of extend this part, and then you're gonna see like white, you know, breaking up in between the black and the rest of the boot, which isn't a big deal, but it's something that I'd rather not see. I'd rather see this be, you know, more show accurate. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave him like this. But you know, thankfully I don't have any 3-0 to compare him to, so that's not a you know, big deal for me. But in case that was a big deal for you, that's just something to note that they do you know, include that for you. So yeah, just look at the Drago sword, man, just standing right there, like in his holster at the side, and it looks really good. Seems like it sits just like it's supposed to in the show. So basically you should see about, you know, this much over the holster, and then the rest of the blade extending below the holster right there. Really, really good. Like they paid attention, man. SooSoo did their homework on this figure for sure. So that is really, really great to see. But yeah, man, he looks fantastic. So I want to see, I'm gonna try real quick. I want to see if he's able to pull off that iconic pose where he kind of rests his Drago sword on his shoulder, and he should be able to, considering that his, you know, his elbows allowed him to bend as far as they did. So I'm gonna try to remove his hand, his resting hand. Come on out of there. There you go. All right, so I just removed one of the resting hands, and you can see here's like the internal inside of it. So you can see like the ball peg. It's like a nice little ball peg system right there. And I'm gonna snap on one of the weapon holding hands for his right side. So let me put that in. And something else to note is that the cuffs that go, like the little braces that go by his wrist, those are separate pieces, so they can actually like move around. You can slide them down further on the costume if you want. But yeah, now I've got one of his weapon holding hands in on the other side. So, all right, there we go. So let me try to put his Drago sword in the hand. and see him hopefully do that pose. Oh, I didn't get the hand in all the way. Hold up. Move that cuff out the way. Snap it into place. Okay, I think it's on there now. Hopefully. Okay, yeah, there we go. And now let me try to get the Drago sword in there. Oh wow, it keeps coming. I can't get it to snap. The hands themselves are made of like a they're a hard plastic, but they are pliable. They're very similar to like the armor that he has on. So they should flex. And let's see if I can get the Drago sword. There we go. Now I got him holding the Drago sword. Maybe now it'll be easier to put his actual hand on. Snap it in. Let's see, are you in? Okay, now I think it's on. Okay, boom. Let's see. I'll bend his arm like as much as I can. See if you can get it resting on there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much on there. It's I can't quite get him to have it resting on there like naturally, but it comes pretty close. I mean, it looks pretty good from the side. So hold on, let me push this belt back down because that is a loose piece as well. So yeah, you can like adjust the belt and the holster, kind of move it around if you need to. But let's get some focus back on him. Boom, there he is holding his Drago sword. I was trying to get it to rest on his shield, but it's a little bit tricky. Little bit tricky there, let's see. I don't know if I can get it perfect, but it comes pretty close, which is it's a good thing. So let's see here, if we can push it down a little bit. Yeah, he can't quite get it on the shield, but he does come pretty close, which is a nice thing. So here's like a little side view of him holding it from the side. And I think that looks pretty good, man. I mean, it's almost there. It's like, it just needs like a little bit more push and it would be right there. But yeah, the vid is gonna run out right here, guys. So I'm gonna stop it here, and then I'll upload part 2, the conclusion, shortly. So yeah, see y'all in part 2. Yeah.